What's up, team? It's Coach Palmer with Bay State Running, and I'm here to bring in a couple of special guests here, all the way from Brockton, your boxers, the MSTCA Fort Devens Team Challenge winners. What's up, crew? How we doing over there?
Good.
Hey.
Congratulations on the on the big weekend win here. I didn't get an opportunity to catch up with you guys before you guys got out of the meet there. You guys wanted that trophy and got out. Hey guys,
hungry.
Let's go ahead. Let's start off. Coach, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about the team here, and then we'll pass the stick around for everybody else to go ahead and interview or introduce themselves.
Sure. Happy Monday. Thank you for doing this and having us on. We really appreciate it. We certainly know it's not often that Brockton's on for cross country. We got some really good teams in this state, and it just happened to be a day on Saturday where we had a great day as a team. So we really appreciate that, and I know that the kids on our team have worked really hard. So I appreciate you talking to them, and I'm sure they have better things to say than me. So you can go down the line and let them introduce themselves.
All right, who's up first?
Nick O'Connell.
Where are you, Nick?
I'm Nick. I'm a senior at Brockton High. Yeah.
Which race did you run on Saturday? What distance?
I ran the 5K.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we got out here?
Hi, I'm Gavin Guerreri. I'm a senior, and I ran the 3K.
Fantastic.
Hi, I'm Mamadou. I'm a senior. I ran the 5K.
Awesome. We got two more on there. Yeah, what's up?
I'm a senior, and I also ran the 5K on Saturday.
Well, my video isn't working, but my name's Isaac, and I ran the 3K. I'm also a senior.
Awesome. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you on this morning. It's a huge weekend for the City of Champions as well, right? So we've had, the Pats win, the Red Sox in dramatic fashion last night. We've got the marathon in town today. What got you guys up and at it so early this morning?
Just got our regular Monday practice. So I think we're going to do a long run today since it's Marathon Monday. Just kind of enjoy the weather, enjoy the day, enjoy each other, and get on the road.
Love it. I love it. Anybody want to add to that? Still asleep, Bob?
Coach, it's going to be a good run today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So listen, guys, I watched you guys over the past couple of weeks here. I saw you guys had a very impressive showing at the Bay State Invitational as well. I think we were runners up there, right, in the second race. And then, coming off of a huge weekend, I know that there was kind of an emotional close to the week out there in Brockton last week, but a very high note for you guys there on the weekend here. So, I mean, spectacular news coming out of Brockton this weekend. You guys going ahead and pulling down the first annual MSTCA Fort Devens Challenge. I mean, I want to know, tell me a little bit more about the kind of strategize or how you guys kind of strategize going into this one here. I see you guys did really well in all of the races. But I mean, how did you guys, kind of pick and choose, or did you guys, choose straws to find out who was going to run what distance? How'd that work out?
We just kind of went with the top 7. We kind of spread them out over those 3 races. We knew a couple kids didn't have to run terribly hard during their dual meet this week, so they were able to tempo the Wednesday dual meet, and that kind of allowed them to be able to run the 5K a little harder. And a few of the kids that ran really hard on Wednesday. We dropped them down to the 3K and the 4K, just so that we're kind of keeping them fresh and healthy going into some of the later season.
So which one? What two of you guys ran the 3K there? All right, let's ask you guys. You guys had to set the tone for the day. I mean, obviously, being that was like the first race up. Tell me what was going through your heads. How do you guys get the team kind of geared up a little bit here to kind of take control of the meet?
Well, so we know we need to set the tone for the team because we're the first race. So my goal was just go out hard, stick with the top pack, and just have hopefully my teammates would follow me in the rest of my race and set the tone for them and the team.
I like that a lot. And I see that you guys both finished 5-6, so in tandem, which is fantastic. That means that you guys ran majority of that race together. Isaac, what do you got to add there?
Yeah, I felt like running just as hard as I can just to make sure that we are set to progress for our 4K and 5K, which is really important.
No, that's awesome, especially to have some low pole positions there, right? Or finishing positions.
Mm-hmm.
So a 5-6, you guys start off the meet with 11 points right off the bat. Then we roll into the 4K. Where's my 4K guys at? You guys had a killer 4K, right? We had a second and a third place finish in the 4K. Fellas, who was up in that race? And tell us what was going on out there. I mean, that's a really challenging race. I'm interested.
So those two guys aren't on the call. They're actually a freshman and a junior. So I led all the seniors on the call today, kind of repping the City of Champions. But the younger kids have to earn that. It's like Belichick on the podium. They're not allowed on the podium yet.
No, I hear that. I'm with it, Coach. I'm with it. Listen, having some youngsters there, right? So obviously a junior coming back as a senior, having those two, and having a freshman that's up there too. A 2-3 in that event, Coach, that keeps you, in the battle, in the hunt, and that actually kind of locked you guys up a little bit. Took a little bit of pressure off on that 5K, so that way you guys could really have that, security with those points there. What are you looking forward to most about, these two athletes in that 4K?
I think the 4K is a great distance because it's, I think, sneaky. I don't think they approached it like it was a 5K. They approached it like it was a 3K.
Yes.
So they ran really hard, thinking it was a shorter race, and it is a little bit shorter, but in reality, it's not. It's really the same race. And I think mentally, it was just really good for them to run that hard and to be where they were, because now hopefully it carries over into the 5K later on.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I mean, I saw a lot of coaches actually put more athletes in the 4K than most other events too, especially seeing the times that come out of it. It's one of those challenging distances where you can kind of open up on the speed side of things and not really have to put up with as much fatigue or have to really battle that last K. So that's interesting to kind of see how everybody's times were kind of shaping up there, but then how that kind of plays into forecasting down the road here for a good 5K split, or what mile pace they're really ready to be doing their training at this point in the season. We had a couple of 5K guys that showed up pretty well there. I see that we had a third place finish up there in the 5K, and then we had two other guys that finished in the top 20 there as well. So that locks up the team win. Where are my 5K guys at? What's up, guys? Tell me a little bit what the team strategy was going into the 5K. How'd the approach feel, and then kind of the course elements and the competition that was out there. What was going on? What happened?
Well, for start, all we really wanted to do was just go out and win it. We all just wanted to do our best, and that's what we did. Competition was mainly really the hills. That's what got me. It was just the back hill, the bigger one, the steeper one. But yeah, that was really it.
Now we saw a little bit of a fade, in positioning there with you, but it really wasn't too bad. So, obviously, it just seemed like definitely. Hills do kind of gas you out a little bit with the competition, but at the same time, you were still able to maintain your form, your rhythm, which is most vital, especially with having quite a bit of distance to cover. So way to go with like fighting through that, and still keeping yourself in that top 5 there, which is awfully hard to do once you get zapped out there. How about the other guys here? Let's hear a little bit about your take on the race here too, because battling to keep in the top 20 is definitely pretty challenging at some of these MSTCA invites. So I mean, what was happening out there?
I think we went out there to be top 10, but unfortunately I didn't have my best race. So but once I reached that top 20 and I felt myself draining, I was like, you know what, from now on, the goal is to get that top 20, get as low as possible. At this point, like you can't be that top 5, but you can still hold the position as much as you can. So that was a goal at that point. And as I saw my teammate come with me, I was like, okay, this is the time. And as Coach Lago yelled at me like, oh, this is for the 508, like that was something that like really got me going at mid race. I was like, okay, this is for the 508. That reminded me of like what our city was going through and like what I was doing it for, and it really inspired me like to just not give up mid race. So I think that was the goal. Not my best race, but we went out there, we did what we had to, and I'm guessing the 4K did what they had to, so it took the pressure off of us, and like it just didn't put all of us on us. Like we weren't like the most important guys. Like we played a part, but like we weren't the most important guys. So I'm glad like our whole team worked together and did it for the city.
Oh, definitely. And one of the toughest things too, right, is like not running your best race, but like you're sharpening your skills in other facets too while you're out there. So like you're improving your mental game a lot. You're also enduring a lot more, which is going to help you down the road on your next race too. So like to be able to kind of overcome those challenges while you're out there on a 5K is number one, like mentally a feat of its own. Physically, another feat, because you have to really push yourself through it, and you really got to kind of challenge yourself, but you have to use it from within to kind of make that effort happen. It's fantastic that you guys have like more of like a team effort or team mentality here too, right? Where you guys already knew going into that race, we're like, okay, like we're already like set up for a really high pole, or finishing position. We really have to get out here and put together a gutted performance, kind of maintain where we're at. Daniel, I'm interested to hear what your take is too. So let's hear it, man. How'd it go for you out there?
This 5K, I'll be honest, it was challenging for me. I think it was challenging for a lot of people. Like what Mamadou was saying, a lot of people felt like they didn't have their best race, but at the end of the day, there was still a good reward at the end. But I think the biggest thing a lot of people were struggling with, including myself, was the pacing and just trying to figure out, the layout of the new course and how to when effectively go harder and when to not necessarily pull back, but conserve some of that more energy for later in the race. And so, although I wasn't high in the ranking in terms of placing, everyone did play a part in contributing to the overall win, which was really, really special, because I feel like there are some people on the team, especially, that might not feel like they have that big of a voice or that big of a power to do something like that. So that was good to see.
I think that's awesome. I think you guys kind of really put that emphasis on the team, right? And you can definitely tell how wholesome and how real it is amongst you guys, especially broken up between 3 different races, because you're able to see 3 different sets of athletes go out there and then compete with the same mentality over and then over again. So it's fantastic that you guys are able to pull down a huge championship win feel like this, right? Now, what does something like this mean for the team? What does a win of the Fort Devens Challenge mean to Brockton High right now?
I think the big thing that it does is it provides some positive press and some positive news for the high school at a time when a lot of negative press is out there. And I mean, along with our football team as well, they won Saturday, and I know they were in a similar position where they hadn't won a game yet this year, and they also were kind of knowing that they had to, if they did something positive, it was going to help change the news cycle for just a few days and give people something else to talk about other than gun violence and other things that are going on in our city. So I'm just really happy for the team and proud of them for stepping up when the city needed them to provide something positive.
Coach, it's funny that you mentioned, how like sports kind of like plays a huge emphasis on bringing community together. I mean, it's great to see that these kids are very passionate. They come together and bring others in more of like a supportive realm. To hear that the football team's doing great, like, this weekend coming off of a win, the cross country team's doing big things on the weekend. You guys just keep that momentum going right now. Don't let any of that, kind of like settle like, yeah, like this is all we're good for right now. Like, keep pushing yourselves here a little bit. But fellas, let's hear a little bit from you guys. Like, what does this win mean for your team?
It means everything. A win is a win, and that's what we wanted. And we're all proud that we got that.
Absolutely, I love that.
We've come in a couple invitationals before. We had Martha's Vineyard in the Bay State. So to finally like get the win done, it means a lot to the team.
We know that there's more challenging places, like more challenging things we can win, but like as Nick said, a win is a win, and it's like a positive feedback on our city and our school. So that's what we needed, and that's what we did. And we know there's more challenging stuff out there, and we're here for it. And we're here to take it from as a team and as athletes and to bring back the win, the City of Champions, I guess.
I feel like it's also the setting stone for everything else that's going to come in the future. We have that invitational under our belt. We have that invitational of a win. So there's no reason why we shouldn't push ourselves to do even more or be even more successful in the future now that we have that to, I guess, essentially fall back on and feel comfortable with.
I like that. All right, Isaac, what do you got to add?
Yeah, pretty much everything everyone has said already. But like moving forward, we're gonna definitely do better. We're definitely gonna strive for that bigger win. States is coming up soon probably, and our Twilight Invitational is coming up real soon. So I'm hoping we can win those.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for mentioning the Twilight this weekend. One of the fastest courses in Massachusetts. Coming off of like this weekend here, like I know that there's a lot of inspiration that comes from this win. I know that there's newfound confidence out of you guys. I'm interested to hear what kind of advice do you have for cross-country athletes and coaches across the state?
Definitely enjoy the atmosphere. It's a great atmosphere. A lot of these invitationals we've been to, have been smaller invitationals. But this one's just electric. The energy with having that many teams there and that many kids, that starting line. We always talk about it. We'll actually have a practice this week where we practice getting pushed to the starting line and not going down, because there's that many kids fighting for position to get through the small fence, it's one of those races where you have to start with the sprint, because if you're in the back or the middle, you might be down. We've had kids finish those races with one spike. We've had kids start the race, getting pushed over. So it's a totally different type of invitational in the sense that it's the energy is just so crazy. There's so many people, but like you said, the course is fast and it's fun, and it's one of those that you don't forget.
I like that a lot. I actually thinking about what your practice may look like down the road here. Are you bringing boxing gloves to practice? Is that what we got going on?
Usually we put them really tight and just make them work on sprinting at the start and not giving them a lot of room.
I love it. That's the only time that our sport is full contact, right? You don't see that kind of contact in any other sport, but when you're running, yeah, it gets a little gritty out there. Well, let's hear a little bit. Give us a little word of advice for those cross-country athletes, across the state here that are, ambitious or going through their own challenges. What kind of words of wisdom do you guys have to share with them?
Just keep pushing and don't give up.
Yeah, I say just believe in yourself, believe in your team. Have faith in your team and work together. It's it's about everybody in the team, not just the top 7 or like just it's everybody in the team that work together and bring the team just up.
Listen to your coaches.
That's
They
the
have a-
wisest thing I've heard a high school say ever.
They have a way. They have a way to make you faster. I don't know how. You're not gonna like how they do it, but it's gonna make you faster. I came up here freshman year running. I was slow. I ran like 24s. Fadadu got me improved by like 5 minutes. It will work. Just listen to them.
Sounds like you just stopped walking. That's fantastic. I love it, you know, and Fidalgo, whatever that little secret recipe is, that little salt that you put in there, you know, whatever that little move is, man, keep it up over there. It's working, man. It's working. Daniel, Isaac, let's hear, you know, what are the words of wisdom you got out there?
I guess going off what Gavin said, definitely just trust the process. Whether you are someone who's in a rush to improve or someone that wants to run those really, really fast times right away, that's not realistic, and anything you do, it's not going to happen right away. Trust the process, work hard, and you will get faster. And also listen to yourself or listen to your body in terms of how you know you can do. It can always handle more than what you think, which I feel like is one of the biggest things that we kind of forget, especially in a race when it hurts so bad. But it's always the mental part that ends up overpowering the physical. So know that you can handle more, and know that you need to trust what's happening before you get better.
That was deep, man. That was deep. That's what everybody needs to hear right now. Couldn't have said it better. Even if I wrote it down, I spent read 1,000 Shakespeare novels. That's fantastic. It really is inside of you guys. Your team especially emphasizes this. Isaac, let's hear what your words of wisdom are here.
To just say, never give up. You know, we all have our challenges and we all have our weaknesses and strengths. But the best thing we can do is push through and get it done. I mean, I started as a freshman doing 24 minutes, and now I'm doing 18, 19. That's kind of impressive for me just to think about. So really where I started and where I'm going is really what's important to me. So just never give up.
You know, it's impressive, Coach. All these guys have the same mentality here, and they're all working together. As seniors, they've had 4 years to kind of work on this together. It's impressive to see, you know, the amount of improvement they've had. Clearly, my next question was going to be what makes your team so close-knit? But you guys literally just said all the pieces, and your mentality is kind of encompassing of all of this. I mean, is there anything else that you would say that would make your team much more close-knit? What other pieces going?
I think that's it. You know, obviously there's a long history with Brockton track and cross country, long before even I started coaching, and a lot of our alumni come back. You know, Coach Lamar, you know, Coach Jennings, and you know, so many other of our runners who have been so inspirational and kind of set the tone of just what the expectations are in Brockton. Even for me as a coach, you know, they've set the expectations of, you know, this is what our program has been and what is expected. And we're creating our own identity every year, you know, because each team is different, each year is different, but we appreciate the history of the program, and we kind of always know that that's where we have to be. There's an expectation that we're the city of champions, and that's going to be where we hold our standard.
Yeah, I love that. You guys have made not just the city of champions, kind of where you're at. You've put that emphasis on your lifestyle. So you are going to be champions for life because of that. And I can tell that you guys have that mentality, that competitive nature that's in you. It's inspiring to see. And then watching your team kind of be very close knit at meets and stuff like this is it's funny too. I walked by your tent the other day, and I saw you guys had a row of seats that were out there, and I couldn't imagine anybody sitting any closer than what your kids were sitting. You guys are basically on top of each other, so it kind of you know, gives me this mentality that, you know, you guys are just you guys are sticking together. You guys are there much more than just as teammates too. It seems like you guys are friends or buddies off the course as well here. So Just keep doing what you guys are doing over there in Brockton. Coach, you've got the recipe. Athletes, just keep eating what he's cooking, all right?
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. Thank you,
Listen,
Bay
so-
State Running.
Yeah, we're going to catch you guys on Friday or Saturday.
We're Saturday at the Twilight.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to catching up with you guys. Do stop by when you guys get there. I'd love to take a team pic with you guys, and look forward to catching up with you and keeping our eyes out on Brockton here over the next few weeks here as we close out the cross-country season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Fellas, enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
You too.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Take care.